Minecraft 26.3 just got another snapshot. And according to Mojang, this could actually be the final one. There isn't a huge amount of new content this time, but we got a complete overhaul to maps, brand new Explorer maps, new concrete stairs and slabs, a new item animation system, and of course, a bunch of bugs were fixed. So today, let's take a look at everything that changed in Minecraft 26.3. Let's start with maps, because this snapshot changes quite a lot about them. First, let's compare the old and new empty maps. The old map definitely looks a little outdated. It basically looks like a piece of paper, and honestly, it was probably time for a new texture. The new version looks much better when you're holding it, but there's one problem. When you look at the map inside your inventory, it feels way too big. It almost fills the entire slot. I think making it slightly smaller would make it look much cleaner, but once you actually use the map, there's another small change. A little icon now appears on the item. It looks nice. Although I think it would be even better if that icon actually showed the map itself. Still, overall, I'm glad the map finally got a visual upgrade. But the texture isn't the only thing that changed. The way your player appears on the map has also been changed. In older versions, your player was shown as an arrow, but once you moved outside the map, the arrow turned into a small dot. You could tell how far away you were, but you couldn't really tell which direction you were moving. Now that's different. When you leave the map, your marker becomes a small triangle instead. And the important part is, you can still see which direction you're facing. So even if you're far away from the area shown on the map, you can still use your marker to figure out where you're going. I think this is especially useful for newer players who don't want to constantly open the F3 menu just to figure out their direction. But there's something much more interesting hiding inside these chests. New Explorer maps. These aren't regular maps. They're maps that lead you to specific structures. For example, this one leads to an abandoned camp in the Pale Garden. And here's the interesting part, you can't simply buy these maps from a cartographer. You have to actually find them inside chests. And different abandoned camps can contain maps leading to other camps. There are also new maps leading to several existing structures. An ancient city, a desert pyramid, warm ocean ruins, and even an abandoned mineshaft. So now, opening a copper chest can actually be a lot more exciting. You might find diamonds, you might find some useful items, or you could suddenly find a map leading to an ancient city. And personally, I think that's a pretty cool addition. Now you might be wondering, can you get these maps from the creative inventory? Unfortunately, no. Just like the older Explorer maps, they're not available there. There is, however, a command that can give you a blank version with the correct map icon. But there's a catch. It doesn't contain the special data that tells the map where the nearest structure is. So it looks like an Explorer map, but it doesn't actually work like one. You could probably recreate the missing data with data packs, but that's a little beyond what we're testing here. But what happens to Explorer maps you already have? Thankfully, you don't have to worry about them. If you move your world from an older version to 26.3, your old Explorer maps are automatically converted. Their icons and textures are updated, but you don't lose the maps themselves, so your old collection is completely safe. But this next change is actually really interesting for people who work with commands and data packs. Minecraft now has a new item component that controls which attack animation an item uses. Every weapon has its own attack animation. For example, the spear has its own thrusting animation, but now you can give that animation to basically any item. You could take a shovel and make it use the spear animation, or even a stick. So now you can technically turn a stick into the world's worst spear. It's not exactly useful, but for map makers and data pack creators, this opens up some pretty interesting possibilities. And of course, we can't ignore the biggest building addition in this snapshot, concrete stairs and slabs. There's not really much to explain here. They work exactly like normal stairs and slabs, but now you can use the different concrete colors. This should make colorful builds a lot easier. Unfortunately, there are no concrete walls yet, and you also can't use a stone cutter to make these, so for now, you'll have to craft them the traditional way. And finally, yes, it wouldn't be a Minecraft snapshot without some weird bugs. For example, there's currently a strange problem with the language settings. If you select certain languages and press D, the game can give you an error saying that the translation file is missing. Restarting the game doesn't really fix it either, but some much more interesting bugs were actually removed. In previous snapshots, pillows could be used as a free X-ray. By placing them inside certain blocks, you could see what was underneath you. That doesn't work anymore. And there was another strange huge bug that lets you place pillows inside blocks and use them to climb upward incredibly quickly. That one is gone too. And that's everything important from Minecraft 26.3. According to the developers, this is supposed to be the final snapshot, so we probably shouldn't expect any major new content after this. But knowing Minecraft, you never really know what the developers might surprise us with. Either way, 26.3 turned out to be a much more interesting snapshot than it first looked. And if you want to see what Minecraft adds next, I'll see you in the next video.